What I'd like to do today is show you an interesting strategy that both Equitrac and Xerox have put together to help your customers and prospects understand the cost of printing, copying, faxing, and scanning. A strategy that will help them lower cost and increase productivity for their fleets. Let's take a look and see how it works. This is the system administration screen. Notice that there's a variety of different ways that I can go in and manage how I want to look at the fleet. The first place that most people will want to start with is something called Active Directory. Active Directory is a Microsoft product which puts together their network and their users. Here I can bring in that database that they've already put together, bring it into the Xerox fleet, and bring it into the Equitrac system. The next place that I want to go to is something called Rules. The first place that I have is a rule setup called Too Big. What too big means is that I might have a job here that's over 100 pages. If I go to print to 101 pages, this job, for example, could be redirected to a print or copy center. The next rule that we can show here is that we've got color web pages. Companies today are purchasing a number of color products. The concern that they have is the cost of color. What I've done here is I've set up a rule that states that no web printing is to be done in color off of any of the devices. And what will happen is either a pop-up could occur to say you can't print, I could have this directed into the trash, or I could even have it directed to a monochrome device. Another rule that I have set up here is something called classified documents. We can see here that there's some words towards the bottom where it says title matches. I have confidential, classified, and secure. What this means is that any file name with those titles in it or other titles that I might want to include will tell the user that this is going to be printed in either a Xerox secure environment or what we call at Equitrac a follow you print strategy. What the follow you print strategy will mean is that I can print to any device or any location, but it will not authorize me until I actually have arrived at that particular device. Another unique feature are price list. Think about the last time you were in a customer account and you asked your customer how much is the total cost of printing for the entire year for your fleet. Chances are pretty good they would tell you what the click charge is, but they wouldn't be able to tell you what the entire pricing is. Here we can see that we've broken out pricing in a variety of different ways. We can see that we have a flat rate. Flat rate means this is the charge that we're going to have in this particular case for black and white. Another scenario could be is that we could break it out by actual manufacturers. Another place that we could go to here is Xerox Premium. Because we're dealing with multifunction devices or perhaps a print and copy center, we might have folding, stapling, binding, punching, unique features that a customer might need, and we can build pricing into this also. A nice conception here that we have for pricing is that we can build a pop-up screen to let that particular user know what the estimated cost could be for this particular print job. Also, we can attach it to a budget. Now let's go into reporting. In our reporting mechanisms here, we are able to show that. There are 72 different reports that we can break out by users, by devices, by accounting, virtually any way that a customer wants to look at this. And keep in mind they can have this emailed to them in the morning as a standard report, and they can also have it webbed to them. In this particular scenario, what I've done is I've gone in and looked at the activities by network user. I can see here that I know what the dates, I know what devices were used, what account codes, what files, the size of the documents, and most importantly, what were the cost of those documents. Now let's look at our devices. Our devices are those products that we have around the fleet. And we can see in this particular fleet, we not only have Xerox, but we have Ricoh, we have Canon, we have a variety of different print products. Let's go in and apply the rules and the costings that we just talked about. So we can see here that we have a particular machine. We'll go into the pricing. We're going to make this a flat basic rate. Then what we want to do is add one of the rules. And the rule that we're going to do here is that we're going to add the one called too big, which means any job over 100 prints automatically goes routed to our print copy center. We'll click OK. And now this rule has been applied. So let's think about what just occurred. We now have applied a price for that particular product. We now have built a rule for our organization and our users. Here's another report that I'd like to share with you. And this is the infamous Andrea Peters report, which you will see in the Equitrac Xerox sales presentation. What we see here is that on September 4th, 2005, Andrea printed 400 color pages at a cost of $60. What's unique about this is that September 4th happens to be the day before Labor Day. Drilling deeper into the reporting, we can see not only the date, but we can see that she printed this at 7:19 p.m. We know what printer, we know the account, we happen to know the file, which happens to be high school flyer, and we still know the cost of $60. It turns out Andrea was actually printing this for her son, who was working on a high school marketing campaign. The bottom line is that we're able here to show how the reporting can go in and find out what's happening on our fleet, what our users are doing, what the performance is of the fleet, and most importantly, understand how those costs are attributed across the enterprise. I look forward to working with you in the future, and should you have any questions, please give us a call.